News with Gina.
The News with Gina Grad.
All right. Well, Deadspin reports that New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft was charged Friday on 2 counts of soliciting prostitution in connection to a recent law enforcement bust on massage parlors in Florida. According to law enforcement, they were used for prostitution and human trafficking. In a press conference Friday morning, Jupiter Police Chief Daniel Kerr said there is video evidence of Kraft involved in sex acts in a massage parlor on 2 occasions.
Oh, release the tapes.
Yeah, 25 people were charged at the Orchids of Asia
I would have liked
Spa
somebody to
Jupiter.
get hold of me in 1995, and I'd be talking on my portable phone, not my cellular phone,
brick
but just
phone.
the phone that had the range where I could walk around the house, and they'd go, "Excuse me, Adam," and I'd go, "Excuse me, I'm on the phone," and they go, "Hey, listen, in 2019, guess what? That phone you got there, no one's going to own one." And I'd go, "What? But you know what there will be? Human trafficking." And I'd go, "What?
Dystopia
What kind
is this?
of world are we living in where this thing that has changed my life, this
Tried
thing
and
where I
true.
get to not go hang on and set it down in the kitchen and walk over, and I can just walk around my house and talk to people. No one will own one of these? No, they will not. But there shall be human trafficking."
Yeah.
And I'd go, "Where?" And they'd go, "In Florida." And I'd go,
Pretty much
"What?
everywhere."
What? I'd be freaked out, and I'd be having very sad thoughts about the future.
Yeah.
So, by the way,
He went in for a rub and tug,
can we just
I imagine.
decide that that's okay?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's the thing. That's the thing. We'll go ahead.
As hilarious and embarrassing as this is, this is a crime is kind of absurd.
But
Yes.
I think the point is not that this dude went in to get a happy ending. It's that they are implying that these women are sort of
They're
corralled
against
and held
their will.
captive.
Yeah. No,
and whether
yes.
the customer knows that or not, probably
Yes.
not.
If it's 2 consenting adults, that's one thing. If they're being literally shipped in containers.
No.
Right. But getting back to Moses, if you are enslaved to have to do an activity you don't enjoy, would you rather put straw and mud together, form a brick, and build a pyramid, or give Crafty a handy? You know what I mean? I'm not justifying
Those are my only 2 choices?
They're your only 2 choices
Hypothetical.
is you can be in air conditioning, giving a guy with 2-tone collars and sleeves on his dress shirt a reach around, or be in a pit full of mud with a guy with a gimp mask on just beating you with a cat of nine tails
Well, I don't
while
want
you
that.
build a pyramid and making brick out of mud and straw.
Yeah, there's levels of prostitution, and there's street crack whore type of a gig, and then a step up from that is your Craigslist.
But
now unemployed Craigslist.
How many
And then-
roses?
Yeah,
That was
and
the
then this
trading
might be a
system.
step above that.
Just like the argument for sort of legalizing drugs and putting the dealers and drug lords and syndicates out of business, if you legalize this activity, doesn't it kind of put the human trafficking part of it out of business?
Seems
or are
like it
we
would.
still going to do the human trafficking part?
It's certainly like a huge chunk out of it.
But anyway, I don't know. Rich guys, you celebrate the Super Bowl the way you want to celebrate the Super Bowl,
right.
Bob Kraft.
He wanted to go
That's
in
up to
and
you.
deflate his penis a little
By the
bit.
way, the guy's like 78, and he's still getting a rub and tug. And
That's a man.
Yeah. Okay. Victimless crime. And
Well,
Except for the
victimless.
slaves.
I'd
Yeah,
like to know
the sex slave aspect
a
of it
little
is
more
a little
about
icky.
the sex slave aspect
That's
of
why.
this.
That's why I think that's what they're implying. It's not that he got a rub and tug. It's I imagine they're implying that the human trafficking element is pretty big in this story.
Well, listen, I've heard 18 stories where they turned out to be zero burgers
No,
in like the
maybe.
last 3 months.
Maybe.
So I need to hear more about this.
Agreed.
But also, if I go into a car wash and I go, "Hey, wash my van," and then it turns out later they were smuggling people in from El Salvador and forcing them at gunpoint to get, I'm just getting a car wash.
Right.
Like,
That's what-
why
yeah.
is that on? How do I know what's
that
going on?
aspect of
Every
it.
single restaurant you go to has somebody in the kitchen that probably shouldn't be there, but I don't know what their relationship is.
That's-
I'm just getting
how
a
did
burrito.
That's what I
How'd the
said.
video element of this work? I mean, did they rig the place with videos, and then wouldn't the women know there was video? Like, first of all, if you're the client Take a good look at that Buddha statue in the corner. Is his left eye a little
Yeah.
glassy?
Yeah, you're right.
It does say video evidence
That cat's
of
waving
sex
at
acts
you.
in the massage parlor.
How'd they get it in there?
And it does also say that these were recent law enforcement busts on massage parlors. So this had to be a big ring they'd been working on for a while.
Also, my theories I've figured out with the whole Heidi Fleiss thing a million years ago when they're talking to the cops at the precinct and they go, who wants to go into the inner city and bust open the crack house? The hands go down. But they go, who wants to go to the massage parlor, act as a businessman and get a free hand? He's like, all the hands. Oh, yeah. And that's why it's like when they busted Heidi Fleiss, there's like 114 personnel had to. And by the way, this went on for months.
years.
We had to pose this
A lot of
horny
recon.
businessman. A lot of recon. Like, of course, everyone gravitates toward that because cops are a bunch of dudes with a lot of testosterone.
And there's a high threshold for when the hand job is, you got to complete because you don't know. She may start it.
Right.
That may not be the crime.
That's right.
It's only on ejaculation that you can put the cuffs on.
That's exactly right.
I've heard it a million times.
Right. All right. I want to know more about the human trafficking part of this, but they should make it legal, and I don't know what Kraft. If he's not in on the human trafficking, I don't care.
Not up to
But
him.
here we go.
Have you guys ever been to Jupiter Island? Or
My mom lives there.
Are you serious?
My mom, not on the island, but she lives in Jupiter.
Oh, lovely.
It's really beautiful.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Tiger Woods lives there.
Yeah, it's a
and
big deal.
A lot of famous golfers.
I gotta say, Fitzdog, I don't know where you're at with this. I've often thought about sort of pragmatic conversations I'm going to have with my son.
Yeah.
And one of them is going to be sort of learn to beat off standing up. It's going to save you a lot of time.
Yeah.
Clean up.
Right,
You know, if you're staying in someone's guest house, you go, I'm going to use the shower. And it's like, oh, it's okay. You don't they're going to walk in and find you splayed out on their bed,
Right.
And blah, blah, blah.
And teach them to scrub down the shin hair.
Yeah,
afterwards.
shin hair.
You want to see, clumps. You're laying by the pool later, and it's like, oh, you got lumps of something in your shin hair.
Shin hair, I think, opened for the Boss Tones in the 80s. They were a ska band from the mid-90s.
Yeah, they're good.
They got some spins on K-Rock, Shin hair. But I'm also, the hand. I've never had a hand job from anybody else but myself. It just
Really?
it doesn't
Wow.
work. It doesn't work
you mean
for me.
you've received one, but you haven't been successful with it?
No, it's sort of it's neither fish nor fowl. My thing is
Even your young sexual awakening?
You swatted it away when it's been
lips
offered?
or hips, baby. You know the rules.
Not fingertips.
I think that's from the movie Cruising. But look, I've adopted it to have a straight meaning, which is, look, I want to get laid or I want a blowjob. Like the hand
Fair
is
enough.
the hand is not going to do it, and also you're never going to do it. Like I do. Like it's like you play the cello in front of Yo-Yo Mon. Eventually he goes, give me that, you imbecile.
Yeah.
Watch out, it's
Get
done.
out of the way. That's what my left hand would do.
Yeah.
So the rub and tug has never had any allure for me because that's like, I'd rather just go get a massage and then I'll take care of the tug myself. And also the effort part, like I get there's a psychological part, but the part where you pay somebody to do it now, that's kind of...
Well, to me, it feels like foreplay. Like it's everything that your wife should, if she cared, do to you previous to intercourse.
If she cared.
If she cared. So I go in, I get the full massage, get the oil. There's a place that I call the Everything But in Venice where they circle. They get in
We listen
real
to Enya?
close.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
There's the cheeks. Put it this way: they rub the cheeks so hard, you start to think to yourself, "Did I take a dump today? Like,
Right.
is there an aroma?
Yeah.
Like they get spread.
They get in there.
But there's no jerk. But I go home, and the wife knows I'm coming in hot.
Oh, right.
If I go to get a massage, she will be penetrated.
Okay. Noted.
And that'll be the quote for the day. I know that. As I said it, I realized that's the quote of the day.
Yeah, so if you're a guy and you enjoy other people's handiwork, it's a weird life because you're going to travel around, you're going to seek this out, you're going to possibly put yourself in compromising situations, and for me, it just holds no allure.
Okay.
A lot of comical misunderstandings. You think you're in that kind of place, but you're not.
You're not? That's right.
No happy endings for you.
No, not for me. All right. Human trafficking.
Yeah, so this investigation has been going on for 6 months. It's nationwide, and it's all part of this huge human sex traffic ring. And that spa was part of it. So that they installed cameras in all these places, and they're yeah.
Bob knew.
It was
Bob had
already
to
being
know.
investigated.
Do you think in the evidence room they refer to your spooge as the traffic jam?
Oh, yeah. I like that. Like Pearl. Interesting. So Kraft just goes into the wrong
Probably
place,
unwittingly,
right?
like Mr. Bean.
And nobody really cares, except for we all have to pretend to care because we're all in the Schadenfreude world.
Well,
like,
funny.
6 Super Bowl rings, but now this,
that's right.
but yeah.
You think he made her wear the rings while she did it?
Oh.
And call him Tom Brady?
What, is he married? Did we discuss
I think
this?
his wife. I think he's a widower.
Yeah, he had a young
Ow.
girlfriend a while, like recently.
All right. But
Yeah.
whatever.
She died of embarrassment.
That's a rich guy. I'm sure he's a hell of a tipper.
She died in 2011.
His wife?
Yeah, his wife.
But he had the girlfriend, or has the young girlfriend. All right.
man.
How young?
So let rich guys be rich.
39 years younger.
All
And I
right.
believe Asian, correct?
Something. All right. Anyway, this will be funny. And then it'll get leaked, right? The tape will get...
It has to. They have video evidence of a rub and tug.
It's awesome.
Jeez, do I not want to see that.
All right.
I need to know if we're doing one or two more, depending on what I do next.
Well, let's do one more.
Okay, then we're going to skip Jesse Us for today. So Chris Hemsworth is set to portray wrestling superstar Hulk Hogan in a biopic. Deals for the Hogan Project are in the midst of closing with Netflix. Born Terry Jean Balea, Hogan began his career in the late 70s in Florida. In the
He's
wrestling
got a
circuit.
video of him, too.
He sure does. That will not be included in the biopic, by the way. They're going to focus on his the rise of Hulkamania. And, yeah, brother.
This is
This
entrance
is Walker.
music.
Yep.
Don't act like you don't know.
Yeah,
Al.
with the big circle and the hand next to the ear.
Hogan's post-match theatrics would go on longer than the match.
It was awesome. He had a Saturday morning cartoon.
It's amazing more guys aren't gay since every young male from age 9 to like 14 essentially is gay. Like everyone,
Yeah.
it's as if you walk down a long gay hallway that you enter at like
true.
9 and you don't exit this super long gay mall until you're like 14 and a half. And the fact that more guys don't stop and stay at the mall is kind of
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
statistically flies in the face of like, you think if more people just like, they do like, you take something like sexual reassignment surgery or living as a or identifying as a, you get 3 or 4 couples in a room now, and one of them will have a daughter that's identifying or a son that's identifying, especially like in Los Angeles. Like, you think more guys would be gay considering we're all gay from 9 to 14.
Sure.
Oh, from
Hey,
9 to
Batman
14
and Robin.
From 9 to
Yeah.
14, my biggest heroes were Jose Canseco and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I'm not joking.
Right.
Brian rests his case.
These are the pinnacles of manhood.
And like
Yeah.
you find, you're like, 12
Put up a
and
picture
go,
of Brutus the
what
Barber
about
Beefcake."
Morgan Fairchild's? Like, get out of here. Let's go with the honky tonk man. That's the guy I want to stare at. That's the poster I want over my bed.
The junkyard dog.
Yeah.
And a very small percentage of us stay back at the mall and
You're
get
right.
a job at
You're
the
right.
scented candle store.
Yeah. You eventually take down your poster of Ric Flair.
It's weird, but we should, from a percentage standpoint, be gay.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. There he is.
Oh, there's
That's
Brutus.
now there
those.
goes a man.
Look at those
right.
Madonna fingerless pink gloves.
He had holes in his tights. He was very gay.
Very homoerotic. Your entire 9 through 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they don't grab each other and roll around on the ground.
Wait a second.
At least they're not shaved and oiled. Wait a minute. All right.
So-
At least their tips aren't Oh, damn it.
Oh, God.
And we try. We try to make every 9 to 14-year-old gay. It just doesn't
Stick.
stick.
Well, this is set to come out.
By the way,
yeah.
you should know, like all the preachers that are listening, for those who did stay behind in the mall, good luck flipping them over.
Oh, right.
They're committed.
Everyone,
They got a
they're
hold.
pot committed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leave them alone.
Yeah.
And on a side note, my friend of mine, John Polono, is one of the writers on this. He wrote Stronger, the Jake Gyllenhaal movie about the Boston bombing. So it'd probably be fun to have him on once this is closer to getting done.
Yeah.
Sounds
I
like
agree.
somebody's jockeying for a little role in the movie.
No, yeah. I'd like to be Miss Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
You could be Bubba
Right?
the Love Sponge.
Oh, that's right.
It has to be good.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Hold on, sorry.
And I'm a real
The
American.
music's still going. Hold on. Let's fix everything.
Grab some champagne.
By the way, in this down moment, I want to say I'm honored to be here on the 10th anniversary show, and it's been a big part of my life to be part of this show, and I'm proud of it, and always fun. And thanks for having me so many times.
Well, I'd kind of wrestled with this, and I want to say out loud, I'm glad Joel McHale turned us down because FitzDog.
Initially, we're
It was for the
devastated.
best.
Initially, we're
Well,
sad.
devastated. A little bit strong, but
So that's how sincerity
This
goes
is-
over on the Adam Carolla show. That's how it's handled. You talk about homoeroticism, and that's how it felt to you. It felt
no,
gay.
FitzDog. No, honestly, we thought about the guys who'd been there from the beginning
Yeah.
and always delivered, and
Right.
you and Dana Gould definitely fit the bill.
There we
Mount
go.
Rushmore of Corolla guests, and right back at you,
Yeah,
brother.
thanks,
right
man.
back at you.
All right,
All
let's sign off now.
Let's bring
I'm
it home.
Gina Grad, and that's the news.
What drives the comedy engine?
That was the news with Gina Grad.